Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I'm a contributor here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast. We're so pleased that you have joined us today. As you come in, beloved, please come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Family, I just want you to know that I'm just one of several contributors here on the network. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, would you? And hit receive all notifications. That way you're notified when not only when I go live, even though you all know that some of these platforms sometimes shadow bans me, but you'll receive notification when some of the others are going live from time to time. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button and be sure to share, 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 share. Are you ready? Are you ready? On the count of three, hit the thumbs up button and then share, share, share. If you hit the bottom of the screen, there's a share button. You can copy and paste the share button on one of your other platforms. You can text it to someone, email it to someone. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. 1, 2, 3. Did I say 1, 2, 3? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, share, share. I see y'all in the digital building today. Thank you so much to all of our family from around the world that's tuning in to the Vicki Show. Family, I want you to know that throughout the broadcast, our moderators in the chat, they're highlighted in blue. They're going to be putting important information and links in the chat. So please take note of it. You can screenshot it. You can also rewind the broadcast live so that you can copy the link if you missed it, or when you see it come across, you can just copy the link. If you miss it one time, they're usually really good about putting it in several times. So family, without further ado, let's get on into today's broadcast. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for a brief early edition of the Vicki Show? You're tuned in to what? Our Black Primetime Show. And we're so pleased that you've joined us today. Now, family, I want you to look at this real quick, okay? I want you to look at this real quick. And you're probably like, what do you mean real quick? Well, let's see. Did I even? No, I didn't even post it. Lord, I forgot to post on the Instagram page. I'll do that later. Let me read this. Let me read the Copyright Act of 1976. Are y'all ready? You all know we believe in following the rules here on the Vicki Show. And because we respect the different platforms, talk black to me. And whenever I play clips, I tend to mention specifically the Copyright Act of 1976. So the Copyright Act of 1976 says allowance is made for purposes such as fair use, criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So family, come on in and watch this. I want you to look at this really quick. Watch this. Let me let them know here because I'm not going to go live on my Instagram page. All right. Yes. So watch this. So for those of you that don't know, because we respect the different platforms that we're on, and the Vicki Show is on multiple platforms, and some of the different platforms that we're on have different rules, regulations. Now, with that being said, unfortunately, their algorithms, their internal systems, and picks us up. So there's been so much scrutinization. There's been so much surveillancing of pro-Black media shows like the Vicki Show that unfortunately we are unfairly targeted. So because I'm on different platforms and there are rules, different rules for different platforms, I use alternative words for the global VV, the global plague. Somebody talk black to me. I use phrases like the cocoa to discuss what's going on in our world for the past couple of years. It's just us being extra careful. And even though we follow all the rules and regulations, how many of you all know that sometimes people libelously say that you're not following the rules and regulations? You all know that I don't even get into the details of what they consider to be conspiracy theory, but we're just taking additional precautions and being extra judicious about how we are doing our broadcast for the Vicki Show. We know that the Vicki Show is setting the precedent, and there is an energy and a power that's connected to our show that really bothers and threatens the powers that shouldn't be. And we're not about to stop. We're not about to slack up. Somebody talk black to me. So I am just being extra careful. So some of you all get mad and say, Vicki, why don't you go in about this? And why don't you talk about that? Beloved, that's the reason why I'm doing underground conversations with my brother Rizza Islam, one of the foremost voices on the global plague. Now, we did part one a month or two ago. We're getting ready to do part two Sunday, January 23rd. So just in a week and a few days, you can get your seat today at www.onpurposewithvicky.com. You can just go to the store and you will see the link where you can click to get access. We're having an offline, that's why I'm calling it the underground conversation, so that we can use explicit words and we can tell you exactly how we feel, not just based on our emotions, but other credible scientists, doctors, and experts that are being silenced or ignored by mainstream media outlets. See, we Black family, and let me say this really, really quick, because this is important. When you hear us, God, this is Lord, I feel the power. I said, I feel the power. When you hear us, what do I mean us? The children of the former slaves here in America. When you hear us in large numbers like we are, call attention to something. When you hear us speak, you better listen. On no day can you put us in the same category as our open enemies. On no day can you put us in the same category of a right-wing white supremacist. On no day, because you feel that those that you disagree with, we're on the same. You may say, well, y'all sounding like them. No, slowness. We are the moral majority, and we are the upcoming kings and queens that's ruling our planet based on freedom, justice, and divine equity, pleasure, and power. What do I mean when I say our planet? I mean that because we have been denied power, we have been denied privileges for the country that we built. The oppressive class didn't build America. They stole land from the original Black folks in America, what you call the original indigenous people. They were black-skinned people. They stole land from some of our Black family that was already on this side of the waters. They stole some of us from the continent. But in both cases, they exploited us. In both cases, they exploited our intellectual property. In both cases, they used and misused and abused our labor, and they destroyed our cities. They destroyed our towns. They destroyed our labor. They messed with the climate. They messed with our family structure. They messed with our spiritual system. Somebody talk Black to me. When we say something, don't you on no day put us in the category of nobody else. When we speak, that changes everything. Because we are the authority. We have a level of credibility that nobody else has, because nobody has been in the long line of justice for nearly 500 years like us. Nobody has built what we have built. Nobody has endured what we have endured for as long as we've endured without one red cent of compensation. Somebody talk Black to me. So don't you allow anybody to put us in any other category or say, y'all sound like the right wing. When we're agreeing with the Democrats and some of the liberals on certain subjects, they don't want, the liberals don't sit there and say, well, y'all sound like us, y'all sounding liberal. No, they want us to consider that to be a badge of honor. Baby, what are we saying now? Bishop Eddie Long, he's deceased now. May he rest in power. He used to say, baby, we're not taking sides. I'm adopting that phrase for us now. We're not taking political sides. We're not taking religious sides. We're not taking economic sides. We're not taking social sides. Baby, the Black family is taking over. I said the Vicki Show is the home, the precedent setter, the pioneer of the hand claps and the gavel raps. Even that phrase came from one of my supporters. Talk black to me. I said, we're not taking sides. We don't favor the Democrats over the Republicans or vice versa. We don't favor one religious system over another. I said, we come to take over. Somebody talk black to me. Now, because I'm not getting ready to be here all day, y'all hit that thumbs up button with the quickness. You all see that they didn't put out the notifications for the show, but I always say at the right time, the right people will hear this broadcast. So everybody slam that thumbs up button, share. Now let me get on with the get on right now. Talk black to me. Now I've already read the Copyright Act. So Roland Martin, who is an enemy of black people, if you are new to Roland Martin, if you're new to the Vicki Show, I should say, and you automatically thinking, oh, you like Roland, but you think I'm attacking him, intelligent people sit back, even if they don't agree, and they ascertain the facts before they go making decisions. So just, I'm saying it's okay for you to be newness. What is not okay is for you to be Earl. Somebody put an Earl in the chat so we can educate our new people. What you don't get to be is willfully slow, because you haven't been keeping up to what's going on, or you don't like my approach or the way in which I express my power. God, today, and the way in which I inform and inspire my people. Talk black to me. Now, what happened, Vicki? Roland's funny looking self, and I can't wait. We're going to have to put this on the list too. Y'all know I'm going to do some t-shirts, you know, talking about the URO, the unidentified rolling object. There are some things that are terrestrials, things on Earth, extraterrestrials above the Earth, and subterrestrials. Roland comes from the class of entities that are from underground. Talk black to me. I'm going to have to get me some little bouncing orange balls that say URO on it. And when I come to the show, I'm going to have to make room and just start bouncing so y'all will know what time it is. I have to keep bringing this up because when I'm talking about Roland, I'm not just talking about Roland. Roland represents an ever decreasing group of people that's black looking, but that are actually more beneficial to the oppressive class than they are to us. I'm just going to have to start coming to the show just slamming and bouncing about. Just about to record come talk black to me. So some of you who love him have given him a pass for his nonstop disrespect of especially young, intelligent black people who disagree with him politically. So instead of the older generation honoring the younger generation by saying, good job, you guys are using your platforms to inform our people politically, economically, even though you may disagree, we're not training folks out here, teaching folks out here to teaching our people on how to take opioids and drugs and heroin and crack cocaine. We're not out here talking about slinging dope on the streets and prostituting yourself and twerking and stuff and being a simp and being online crying about how you can't get a woman. Talk black to me. Or getting online talking about how you hate black men. We're empowering our people, but instead of the black elders, so-called elders, congratulating and supporting the young black folk that's out here doing what I'm doing, they despise us, which is why I tell you often, these are not your mothers. I'm your sister with the curly braids. That's why I tell you often, these are not your mothers. These are not your fathers. These are frauds. These are fake wheat, what the scripture calls tares. There's a such thing as the wheat and the tares. So don't you come on the Vicki Show sitting up here talking about I'm attacking somebody black slowness when you can't tell the difference between the fake and the real. You don't know the difference between a true prophet and a false prophet. And your show can't identify when there's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Somebody put some balls in the chat. Talk black to me. I found a clip of Roland Martin recently, the other day, specifically using RlZZA Islam's name and what I perceive to be, once again, disrespecting our brother. And when I'm talking about RlZZA, I'm not just going hard for RlZZA. I'm talking about what he represents, who he represents, which is also us. Other voices that are similar to our brother RlZZA's about truth telling, other voices that just has a different opinion, they demonize. And who's leading the way on the demonization of the young youth, the Black youth? While you've got whole channels and political folks celebrating and assisting and making excuses and funding killer Kyles and other white supremacists and defending killer police officers and killer military folk and dangerous political entities, you've got the elder Black folk disrespecting and dogging their own. Talk black to me. While they're sitting out here talking about abortions, they're sitting here trying to politically and socially abort the Black youth. I consider them to be political abortionists when they disrespect us, when they mock us, when they talk down on us. They are political abortionists, aborting the power of their own people. Talk black to me. Let me let you listen to a little bit of this clip. By the way, family, listen very closely to Roland sitting his funny looking self up here the other day on his show, and listen to what he specifically says about brother RlZZA. For those of you that don't know, our brother RlZZA, I did a show and I gave you the receipts where our brother Rizza Islam messaged very respectfully Roland, because Roland has been putting out a whole bunch of information. And our brother RlZZA said he just wanted to add to the conversation. And our brother RlZZA challenged Roland to a debate or discussion. He was so respectful. So respectful. He even went so far as to tell Roland, you pick whatever experts, doctors, scientists, I'm paraphrasing. Roland, you get to pick. RlZZA told him, look, you pick whoever you want for me to come have a discussion or debate with, right? RlZZA, with high respect, a young man that's ship-shaping the world, respectfully came to an older Black-looking male, and offered to have, he said, a debate/discussion. And he said to him, look, you pick whoever you want me to have a discussion with, right? Well, listen to how Roland responded. Watch this. I see y'all. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. Watch this. Let me get to the part. Y'all ready?
And this other charge versus that, and it's understanding how you're trying to see the year.
Watch this.
These people think they can Google anything, and now they are an expert on how to do your job. I know people who are construction engineers. I don't even like changing a light bulb. You think I'm about to sit here and have a debate with an engineer on how to construct a building? No. That's why you hire somebody who went to school to become an engineer. But that's where we are now. We got everybody and their mama who think they on YouTube. And I got people, man, hitting me up. I had a sister who hit me up.
Y'all hear that? So once again, he's starting the mocking. He's telling you that because you're watching alternative commentary online, he's mocking you, and he's telling you that now all of a sudden you're an expert. They did a whole lot of other disrespectful commentary, but I'm not going to abuse you by having you listen to all the mess that I had to sift through so that you can hear the most relevant part of him specifically calling out our brother. Keep listening. Everybody, thumbs up, share, share, share.
And I'm gonna go. She said, you need to have Rizza Islam on your show. I said, is he to talk about COVID? I said, is he a doctor or a scientist? No. I said, why would I have him on? Well, he's well read. I said, I'm sorry. Is he a doctor or a scientist? No. Well, why am I going to have him on to talk about COVID? Now, I could have easily not even mention his name, and just could have alluded to it. But I'm giving an example. When she was going back and forth, I said, would I have a non-lawyer on breaking down the Derek Chauvin verdict?
Did you all hear that? Did you all hear him specifically say why he's not going to have RlZZA on? Because he's not a doctor. I want y'all to keep listening.
If they were an activist, that's their lane. I said, but I'm not going to have a non-lawyer breaking down the legal aspects of the Derek Chauvin verdict. I said, if I'm having a conversation about food, I'm probably going to have a chef. I'm not going to have a car mechanic who doesn't cook. Don't
he sound dumb? Roland, you're not a cook, but God knows you're an expert on food. Somebody say Roland ain't no cook, but he's an expert on food. Somebody say Roland is nobody's cook, but God knows he's an expert on food. Now don't get it twisted. I love to eat. But some people have different kinds of relationships with food. Roland, you're not a chef, but I do trust you to talk about food. It's obvious and evident that you've got a level of experience with food that not everybody else has. Talk black to me. Roland talked about my hair. There's so much for me to pick from, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let the people do whatever they want to do about the UROs and stuff. Talk black to me. Somebody say Roland is an expert on food. So tell him that was a dumb analogy to say that if he's going to talk about food, that he would just have a chef. No, dummy. A person that's a foodie or a person that goes that's familiar with certain types of food, they have enough sense, talk black to me, they have enough judgment to tell you whether or not the food is good, whether or not they enjoyed it, and whether or not they're going to tell other folks to eat there. You may go to them for different reasons. You would go to a person, the customer, about a food. If a customer is buying food at a restaurant, you want to hear from the customer because they're the ones that's funding the restaurant. You may not talk to the customer about the recipe, but they still have a vantage point. They have a perspective about food that maybe the chef doesn't have. So you don't just discount the customers that's responsible for funding your business and paying your mortgage, shout black to me, and that's responsible for paying your employees. You don't say screw over the customers and I don't care what they think, fool. You just simply say that the customer has a different opinion. An important contribution to the food discussion. It's just different from the chef. Wasn't that brilliant what I just said? Wasn't it so simple and brilliant? The perspective of the customer on the restaurant is different from the perspective of the chef. But it's equally important because the customer is the ones that's responsible for paying all of the bills and causing you to level up. So you don't give the middle finger to the customer. You just understand that their perspective, their vantage point is different. Didn't I just break that down? I said, didn't I just break that down real simply? Now, this is scary what my phone just did. He don't even fit. Not the body, just the upper region don't fit on the phone. I'm sorry. I should have gave you a disclaimer, warning to the children. No, this isn't violence, but it's a type of violence, maybe. No, this is pornography, but maybe it should be. God, today. So don't let knuckleheads, rolling objects, sit there and give you an asinine, nonsensical, illogical response, and you just shake your head like they making sense. He goes on with further stupidity. So you see, he specifically called out RlZZA, right? But he knows that RlZZA publicly asked him for a discussion or a debate respectfully. And he told Roland, you pick whoever you want me to talk to. But Roland, as you heard him say, he said, I didn't have to mention his name, but I just brought it up. Listen, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family.
Just because he read a cookbook does not make him a chef. And I think that's just where we are. We are at, well, it will be a great debate. You get a lot of views. And I said, I don't need them. I said, I'm not interested in using my platform talking to people who are not experts on the subject.
Watch this. Watch how I'm going to break this down with such brilliance. Somebody say, watch the big black brain in action. See, I don't need to get deep and make you miss the mark with the simplicity of my intelligence so I can give you all some talking points so that we can just openly humiliate and destroy the arguments of the fools out there that's disrespecting us. Derek S., you're exactly right. Roland is scared. He's scared that if he gets in the presence of a true black masculine man, he will melt all over the public. But let me move on. Watch the big black brain real fast. Roland is sitting up here saying we should not listen to folks like our brother because he's not a doctor, right? He said we shouldn't listen to him because he's not a doctor. He's not an expert. I'm not going to bring him on. Roland, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, and every other black bone and biscuit, are they doctors? Talk black to me. I said, are they doctors? Put it in the chat. Is Roland a doctor? Is Joy a doctor? Is Donna Lemonade a doctor? Somebody tell me real quick before I show you, before I just do the big black brain in action. Valerie said no. Raymond Muhammad Ali said no. If they're not doctors, why should we be listening to them if they're telling us to go out and get the you know what? You big-headed hypocrite. They're sitting here, Roland, who can't keep a job on CNN and who was just busted in the WikiLeaks documents as working behind, as alleged, come on, we're going to be extracurricular here, as alleged to have been working with the Hillary Clinton campaign to give them information that he wasn't supposed to be given to them. If Roland isn't a doctor and Roland is giving you medical advice to go do you know what, how come he's not willing to bring on our brother RlZZA to just hear an alternative opinion? Somebody tell Roro and Donna Lemonade and Lomina Reed, they're not doctors, but they're telling us, they're giving us legal advice. What's your credentials, Roro? I just need y'all to educate me. When did Roland get a degree, medical degree? When did he go to nursing school? When did he become a nurse practitioner? When did he become somebody's surgeon or a scientist? They are giving you medical information. They are telling you you are dumb and stupid. Talk black to me. Watch this.
Now, does he have an opinion? Yes. Does he have lots of followers? Yes. Do people go, oh man, I love what he has to say? Yes. That's great. And I told her they are more than welcome to listen to him on any of those platforms. But I am not going to have somebody on discussing a medical health issue who does not have any expertise in the issue. I said, send me.
From now on, y'all better tell Roland, why should we listen to your advice when you're not a doctor? He's sitting here saying he's got a big platform. People listen to him. He's a rhetorical expert. When the older generation despises their youth, I'm going to need you all to start using the talking points I'm giving you by asking the Reverend Al Sharpton and the Roland Martins and the dead irrelevant Black Congressional Caucus. Tell them you all despise the Black youth. You despise us, you ignore us, you mock us, and you silence us. Now, somebody tell me something. Make this make sense real fast. Roland said that he was not going to bring on our brother RlZZA because he's not a medical expert. And I just shut that down real quick, didn't I? But let me ask you something. Guess who Roland will do an interview with? Guess who Roland will do an interview with? Guess who Roland will do an interview with?
Steve King continues to showcase his white nationalist beliefs in response to a tweet he posted over the weekend that drew major condemnation from Republicans.
Hold on.
As opposed to their faith and form of their culture. But I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black?
Hold on.
Until as people are looking at.
How many of y'all know who the white nationalist Richard Spencer is? How many of y'all know who the white supremacist, white nationalist Richard Spencer is? How many of you all know that Roland, excuse my French, was turned on? God, today. Roland got aroused. The thing that arouses humans, the thing that makes you attractive to a woman or a man, Roland gets attracted. He gets turned on. He starts jiggling and twitching. He starts getting emotions. He starts singing, let's get it on. As a URO, when a white supremacist is coming near him, when a Zaddy or Miss Ann gets close, he gets turned on. God, today. Roland was willing to use his platforms for an anti-black white supremacist. But he tells the young black youth who's doing nothing but working to empower their people, who just has a different opinion, coming with facts and experts that Roland doesn't want to hear from. Look.
And so I actually say yes. We need to start maybe knock some of that stuff off. We need to think of ourselves as a mainstream movement that's going to reach people, because we do have that power.
Okay, so are you white nationalists?
I don't use the term white nationalist. I like the term all right, first off. And I also like the term identitarian because it gets at what I am or what I believe.
And what is that?
Identity is at the heart of my ideology. So
what's that identity?
Yeah, race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Now race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. And my line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin.
Watch this. The white supremacist, Roland said, I'll give you a platform. But RlZZA is more dangerous to black people than this white supremacist. Y'all better listen to me. Y'all better listen to your sister. Listen.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify?
Watch this. Watch what the white supremacist is going to ask Roland. And y'all remind this URO. Roland is telling you he's a subterrestrial. Roland is telling you that he's truly not black. Through this confession right here. Listen.
Black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Hold on.
Okay.
I identify as a man. No, actually, it's not sexist because if a person is a woman, identifies as a woman.
Okay. So at what I am or what I believe.
And what is that?
Identity is at the heart of my ideology. So
what's that identity?
Yeah, race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Now, race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. My line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you identify as a black man?
Oh, first.
The white supremacist asked a black-looking man, do you identify as a black man? Listen to what the URO said.
As a man.
I'm a man.
Okay.
Identify as a man. No, actually, it's not sexist because if a person is a woman, identifies as a woman. Okay. So I'm a man. I'm a Christian. Mm-hmm. Are you a Christian?
I'm a cultural Christian. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Well, many of us struggle with faith, but
Roland was asked by a notorious public white supremacist whether or not Roland identifies as a black man, and Roland would not say he identifies as a black man. Roland sat up there and asked this white man if he was a Christian. Roland was looking to find something in common with his open enemy. Roland was okay when the man told him that he identifies as a cultural Christian. Roland is willing to give a platform for a notorious anti-black white supremacist white nationalist, but Roland gives the middle finger and calls Rizza Islam out by name and refused to bring him on. Somebody say, what is he afraid of? Talk black to me, family. I'm not going to be here long. I just had to remind you all, he says no to a young black man, but he says, come on in, Spencer. Roland got turned on when the white man agreed to come to his show. Some of you all disgust me.
His bio. She did. I saw where he mediated some gang disputes.
Watch this.
I said, if we were having a conversation
Watch this.
about how to deal with gang issues, using my platform, talking to people who are not experts on the subject. Now, does he have an opinion? Yes. Does he have lots of followers? Yes. Do people go, oh man, I love what he has to say? Yes. That's great. And I told her, they are more than welcome to listen to him on any of those platforms. But I am not going to have somebody on discussing a medical health issue who does not have any expertise in the issue. I said, send me his bio. She did. I saw where he mediated some gang dispute. I said, if we were having a conversation about how to deal with gang issues, I would more than welcome to invite him because he has experience in that.
Why did Roland ask this lady who told him, what about your debate with RlZZA? What about bringing RlZZA on for a discussion? Roland said, he told her, give me his bio. See, you bussies out there, why would you ask a lady who was following up with you about a debate when RlZZA publicly, openly asked you for a discussion? He respectfully. RlZZA didn't call you the URO like I do. RlZZA don't call you Roland Martin. RlZZA don't do shows like I do, exposing you for the enemy that I know you are. He's got it. Whatever it is, he's on it. Talk back to me. Where my choir at? It's Uncle Roro, y'all. RlZZA respectfully said, you pick, bro. I just want man to man. Let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation. Watch this. Roland was directly asked by RlZZA for this discussion. Why didn't Roland talk to RlZZA offline and say, bruh, give me your credentials? But he asked a stranger, you send me his bio. And now he's using this stranger's conversation to sit up there and say he read something on his bio that he mediated a gang dispute. Your gift is blessed, Del Monte, 1,000-fold. Do you all see that? Roland had RlZZA's direct request, but Roland didn't ask him behind the scenes. Bro, can you give me your resume? Can you tell me what your expertise in this topic is? I'm not going to go there right now, but do you all know that our brother RlZZA has been dealing with all kinds of conversations before Coco? Did you all know that our brother has been dealing with interrelated medical conversations and professionals and topics for many, 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 many years before the global plague? Did you all know that he was an advocate for different topics interrelated to this long before the global plague? Do you see how your so-called own slanders you? Roland didn't want to go to the authority and the source himself to scrutinize. He instead, see, a weak bussy does that. Rolandas do that. His name ain't even Roland Martin. It's Roland Martian.
But I'm not having a conversation about COVID. if you got no knowledge or experience on that very issue. And also, I think he's on some list, the 12 biggest disinformation, some list, whatever. It's a bunch of people, Robert Kennedy Jr. is on it. But again, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not. I am not going.
The list that Roland is referring to is the list that I told you all about Roland, about RlZZA on. The White House attacked Rizza Islam, RlZZA along with 11 other people. The problem I have with Roland, the problem I have with Tamika Mallory, the problem that I have with those others that call themselves street activists, the problem I have with the Reverend Al Sharpton, the problem I have with Don Lemon, the problem I have with Joy Reid, it's not just that they're telling us what to do and disrespecting us because we disagree on how we should approach this global plague. You all know I tell you to go to cdc.gov, don't I? We don't tell you to hide from the knowledge and the information. We told you that the situation was serious and that you should wear your masks. We told you that you should be up on your hygiene. We told you to take care of yourself physically and medically. We told you to consult with your medical doctors and we're not giving you medical advice. We told you that the situation was real. What's the problem? The problem I have with Roland types is not just that they dog us because we don't agree with the jab for us. The problem that I have with Roland and other Black so-called street fake activists, fake civil rights leaders, is that when the White House attacked RlZZA, whoa, this is good. When the White House press secretary Jen Psaki took to her platform and referred to this company, this organization that put our brother RlZZA on essentially a social hit list by labeling him as a part of the 12, the disinformation dozen. That's what the White House was referring to. The problem I have with your fake activists, your fake civil rights leaders, and your fake so-called pro-Black media entities is not just the mandates, not just the global plague. They have nothing to say when the White House attacks you. Where are they at? Do they agree that it's okay that somebody that has an alternative opinion, they think it's okay to demonize them, to deplatform them, and to penalize them? They think it's okay. They claim that they initially, in the beginning of the plague, remember they were for essential workers. Now, they disagree with the essential workers having jobs. Joy Reid was one of the first ones that started to publicly advocate on a mainstream white platform that people should not be able to get benefits if they're not able to work because they disagree with getting the jab. It was Don Lemonade that was one of the first ones before the White House officially came out real hard with the mandates. It was Don Lemonade and them that started the drumbeat that says that they needed to start getting tough on people. Yes, that includes Joe Madison. Joe Madison sitting up there starving himself for voting rights. Negro, if you're willing to die, shouldn't you approach me a little different than voting rights? That's another subject. Thumbs up, share. Y'all better register for my Sunday, January 23rd, with me and my brother RlZZA. We're going to tell you what else you need to know. We're going to give you our educated, intelligent opinion that's coming from facts and scientists and doctors. We're going to tell you what they want to allow us to say on the platforms. We respect the platforms. So you better get your seat today. Go to my website at www.onpurposewithvicky.com. You've got a week and a few days to register. My website is up there now. Me and my brother RlZZA, we're doing another 911 Underground Part 2 masterclass.
Waste time talking to people who are not experts or subject matter experts. It ain't gonna happen.
And Roland ain't no subject matter. Roland is not an expert, but he's still telling you to go out there and get the you know what. Don Lemonade ain't an expert, but they want you to listen to them about medical advice. Joy Reid is not a medical expert, but she's telling you what to do. Rachel Maddow is not a medical expert, but she's telling you what to do. Anderson Cooper is not a medical expert. These politicians aren't medical experts. We're not telling you not to get the jab if you want it, family. We're telling you, stop punishing people that disagree with you, especially when the thing that you're advocating doesn't stop you from getting it, doesn't stop you from spreading it, doesn't stop you from getting sick. The reason we have to have a conversation offline is because of folks like Roland. I've said this many times before. How many of you all are mothers in the chat? How many of you are fathers in the chat? How many of you all are bus drivers, pilots? How many of you all are responsible for giving permits to people for local, state, and federal government? How many of you all deal with explosives? How many of you all deal with oil and gas? How many of you all are doctors in here, nurses? How many of you all are nurses' aides? Every single one of you and many, many others make life and death decisions every day. You are intelligent enough, some of you, to raise multiple children. Some of you had children that was having an allergic reaction, and if you didn't act, your baby could be dead. Some of you caught a little child that was drowning in water, and you snatched them in time before they drowned. I almost drowned when I was a young girl at a Girl Scout camp. I was actually doing a swimming test, and I did good on my first round of the test, but on my way coming back, I got disoriented and I started going under. And so when I started to go under in the deep water, I started to panic and I almost died. I almost drowned. They ended up clearing the entire swimming pool. I was there with one of my siblings as well, and she said she was getting ready to jump in because she's really good at swimming. And the swimming guy, the swimming coach, stopped her from jumping in. They finally came and got me out of the water. And he was a white man that finally came in the water after taking his sweet time. And when I got on that, when the white man came up in there, I started jabbing my fingernails deep. When he finally came in there, I scratched, I jabbed and scratched and clawed that fool. You all save lives every single day. You have the decision-making capacity. You all have enough intelligence and judgment to make the right decision. But Roland is telling you, you are too stupid to listen to. How many of you all know that every single day, people are dealing with diagnosis of different kinds of cancers, different kinds of life-threatening diseases, and some of the people decide that they're not going to take their doctor's advice? They make the decisions for themselves. And sometimes it turns out that they're more intelligent about their decision than their doctors. But how many of you all know that most doctors typically advise you to get a secondary opinion, tertiary opinion? Normally, they advocate for you to talk about alternative opinions. But in this instance, they tell you to shut the hell up. They're calling you stupid, mama. Daddies, I just saw somebody say they're a single dad. They're telling you you're too dumb to know what to do. They're saying, we don't listen to you fools. They're sitting here mocking you because you're saying you're doing your own research. Roland's team, I'm not going to let you listen to the rest of this foolishness. They sat up there, Roland sat up there and said, you eat hot dogs and you don't ask what's in a hot dog. They sat up there and said, you take NyQuil. I believe that's what another analogy he used, but you don't ask what's in a NyQuil. They're saying that because all of a sudden we're researching for ourselves, they're telling us, don't be too uppity, Negroes. You've been stupid. You've been letting other people tell you what to do without doing research. Just keep doing it. They're actually mocking you when you say you're researching. Roland and them have been behind the 8 ball for so long, they don't know that some of us have been objecting to other shots because we've been educating ourselves over the years. But not only that, there's every topic, every subject is not in the same class as everything else. How many of your parents and adults tell you to stay away from crack cocaine and heroin? They tell you that for those topics, but they don't tell you that for Tylenol, because their intuition and their intelligence and logic tells you that those types of things are more dangerous than others. Fool. Many of your parents tell you don't do drugs, right? The drugs they're talking about is not over-the-counter drugs. Family, I gotta go. I got another appointment. There's more to this story. Be sure to share and like this show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Get your seat today, family. My upcoming January 2nd, Sunday, January 2nd. I mean, what am I talking about? Sunday, January 23rd. Sunday, January 23rd. Sunday, January 23rd. Just a week and a few days. My brother Rizza Islam and I, we're doing part 2 of our 911 Underground Masterclass conversation. We're going to tell you other things that you need to know. We're going to tell you some things that you can positively do about it. And we're going to begin to tell you of how we can become a global force offline. Get your seat today at www.onpurposewithvicky.com. Also, family, make sure that you check out the blackbusinessschool.com so that you can learn about building black business. That's the blackbusinessschool.com. The moderators throughout the show have already been putting that link in, but I always like to plug that as well. Family, let us see you there, especially Sunday, January 23rd. So we got less than 2 weeks, family, only a week and a few days. Get your seat today. Tell everybody that you know about it. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show, beloved. I'm going to continue to follow up on this topic. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I bow to you. You are my bliss. I can't wait to see you again.